Welcome to the It's All Fine and Danjee podcast, where hosts Dan and Angie talk with creatives, small business owners, charities, and all kinds of interesting people. It's all real talk. It's all fine and Danjee.
Yes, he does. So you'll spotlight.
Facebook.
You'll probably be up first. So, hey everybody, welcome to the It's All Fine and Danjee show. I don't even know what episode we are because we stopped counting that, but I think we're like 140-ish now.
I think this is 134 maybe.
All right, so maybe Dan has kept track, but I know we're getting up there. We've been around for a while. We're back in full swing of things, and we have a unique group of ladies here that run a very unique online forum and an actual physical
market. Like a vendor market, I guess.
That is a great way for small businesses to network and to kind of get help in marketing themselves to the public. So we want to welcome Ms. Sheena Willis, Erica Rue, and Nikki Anderson from Whimsy Whimsy Waffle and Market. Can I say it like that?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It's okay. So I don't have to separate the two.
We have two separate ones.
Yes.
The Waffle is going to be the online forum, and then Whimsy Market is going to be our in-person vendor markets.
Yeah. That's right. So Dan has a lot of questions about the Whimsy Waffle.
Only 30 or 40.
And it's such a fun name, but tell us kind of why it's called the Whimsy Waffle.
Okay. So in the small of it, it is raffles. But Facebook doesn't always like the word raffles, so we call them waffles.
I love
Clever.
it.
And it took us a little while. I was kind of bouncing the idea back and forth to Sheena, and she was like, just do it. Because there is other waffle type groups, but I wanted one that solely focused on small businesses. Being a small business owner myself, I understood the struggles of really getting your clientele out past your small community. So that was the main base of why I started it. And it kind of sat dormant for a couple months, and then it just really skyrocketed.
Wow.
And
that's
it
awesome.
got busy quick, and that's when I brought on Sheena and Nikki. And, we worked together, I'd say probably like six or 8 months. And then we started going back and forth about doing in-person markets because COVID was kind of slowing down. People wanted to get into more things on the weekends.
Get out of the house.
Yep. So that's when we started doing the in-person markets. But online, it is just where you can choose an item that you offer from your business, and then you can break it into spots. People bid on the spots, and then I go live on Facebook twice a week and pick the winners using a number wheel.
That is cool.
You go live on Facebook with every product that's currently on the waffle, or is it like one per week, or how does that work?
So if they close and they get completed and paid for, and the small business is finished with their waffle, they add it to a list. I go live on Mondays and Thursday nights, and it's usually roughly between 35. We've gotten up to 75 in a night. So if they close and then they add to the list,
awesome.
And then the day of draw, we cut off the list and start the new one for the next live day.
That is really
organized.
Very organized, I was going to say. And
She's got a good system going.
Yeah, I love, so when people do have small businesses or like at-home businesses, it seems like you have your little circle and you don't kind of get out of that circle. It's like you're always doing like if you do at-home parties or something, you're always at the same people. It's the same people that are just coming and buying stuff from you.
Right.
So I love that you're like, okay, how can we get outside of that circle? And you've done that with the online, but also with those markets. We were at a market for the first time the other day, the one you do out in Umatilla.
Our Mother's Day market.
Your Mother's Day market at Sensational Farms out in Umatilla. And we couldn't believe the traffic coming through there. It was
I couldn't believe it either.
It was
great.
It was amazing. It was very impressive. And you guys are very organized.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's also, I guess, when you mention that you get stuck in your little, your sort of social circle, because I'm an author, I sell books, and that's exactly what happened. I sold up to a certain amount. And, it's all your friends and your family and the few people that find out. And then it kind of slows down. So it's awesome that you've discovered this is a problem that exists across all sort of local, small, local, what do I want to say, grassroots type
Vendors and stuff.
and
Absolutely.
stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the positive about this platform is we just reached just over 4,000 people
4,000 members
on
yeah.
the waffle
I saw
part,
that.
and it is not just Lake County or Florida. This is all over the country.
Oh, I love it.
We have people out of the country too.
And, yeah, we just started getting a couple outside, so international. And the positive is, like her and Sheena, Erica and Sheena, they have product that they can ship anywhere in the world. I just, as a baker, am able to actually ship things, but for a long time, I'm local, so I can only do local pickup things. But for them as product people, having that opportunity to now reach other states that they weren't in yet because their groups or their pages didn't get to that yet.
Is this vendors from other areas too? Or
We have vendors coming from all over Florida. Sheena and I have actually gotten, not stalkerish, but kind of like we're poaching a little
fans.
bit. We're big fans of these vendors, and I will go to any vendor event, any market event that I can go to and grab their card and talk to them. But
we're stalkers too. We do the same thing.
that's how you spread your business.
We were
Market
at the
research.
event
Yeah,
and we
that's
were
the only
going
way to-
around to the different booths and like, I'm going to take this card. Oh, we're going to reach out to this. Yeah,
But
so
we
you get-
intermingle them too. Like, so our vendors, if we get a vendor coming in, we also tell them about the waffle page. So that way they have that opportunity as well, other than just in-person markets, because they also may not get approved for every single market.
Yeah, and they might not be able to make it to every market as well.
Agreed. And then same for her, she'll, have us advertised, the market part advertised on the waffle part. So then that way those people that may not have seen anything about our markets yet can start going into there.
I love it. So Erica, we're picky with who comes on the show because we do want to make sure that it's a small business. We say local, but we go to North Carolina and we interview people in North Carolina that have small businesses.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's local to-
So local to the U.S.
And also you might travel up there and go on vacation. You might hit that place up because you heard them on the show, so we're all about, small businesses. Are you picky when vendors answer the questions on the Whimsy Waffle? And do you kind of, do a little research, see what they're doing, see what they're selling? What are your criteria for who gets to join that?
So we do have the set questions to join the group. And the main reason we did that, I think, was to ensure a safe community. Because, of course, unfortunately, there are people out there that just come in to scam you.
Yes.
So if they want to be a seller, they do have to be in the small business group. And, sorry.
You're okay.
Wait, what is the small business group?
So the small business group is for the small business owners only and the vendors. So we also kind of toss back ideas, marketing tips and tricks, stuff like that, stuff that, helps one business grow, could possibly help another.
Now, is that a separate Facebook group than the Waffle Facebook group?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
This is our
Okay.
behind the scenes kind of group. Like she said, for the small business owners that waffle,
Right.
and then our vendors in the market. So it's a combined thing.
Okay.
And then in that group, we talk both about waffling and markets
There's about
nice.
1,100 people in that group.
That's amazing.
that
from all
is
over the
amazing.
country. So like I said, we don't have one specific for vendors. We don't have one specific we want them all to be together.
Sure. Well, Nikki, you mentioned also the approval process for, is that to be in the market or in the events? You guys go through a process to make sure you approve
Oh, yeah.
each one of the businesses, and what's that criteria based on to make sure it all goes together? Because I imagine you
It's
could
a
have some
lot.
products that just don't go with what you're doing,
Well,
or is it
every
not so
event-
much that?
Yeah, every event's different. We have a vision for each specific market. Like, for example, a family day versus a girls' day out.
Okay, that's why you said the
Do you
Mother's
understand?
Day.
I've noticed
market.
themes. So like when I
Well,
went back
getting
and
into
looked,
that.
yeah.
We're trying very hard to target a specific audience. So
Yeah.
you as the vendor know more of what products to bring and have a successful day because we've targeted the audience
That's
coming.
brilliant. As an author that has not to keep mentioning that, but I've done book booths where all day long I don't sell one book, and I've done other ones where I'm almost sell out because it's too eclectic of a crowd, and it's like when you fine tune it like that, you would know right away this one's not for me.
Yeah,
this one is for me.
And what I love about that is, so you're the Whimsy Market, so everybody knows. Okay, they put markets together, but when I go to each one of those individual markets, I'm not necessarily going to see all the same vendors all the time. So that, that's what I love.
Makes you want to go again.
It makes you want to go again because you might see something different. We've been to, festivals or whatever, and I'm like, this is all the same which some of them, you're excited to see again, but there's nothing new. I want to see something fresh and new every year when I come back.
That's brilliant.
Because we don't want the same exact people.
I want to see new food vendors and something creative and new.
Another thing that we have that's really cool with our variety is we can have a vendor come to like the Mother's Day market, and afterwards they can waffle off all of their products that they had left over. So the next market, they can come with all new products.
They have that
they
platform.
Don't have to sit on these items and just recycle them.
Especially if it's specific.
Yeah, because they're, my friend Mindy Fox, or my sister-in-law now, well, my best friend before she was my sister-in-law. We won't get into this.
We love Mindy.
That's nice.
Like her soap, she'll do little, Easter soaps or, some holidays,
She has her base and then she has a few extra.
Yeah, but that she can waffle those off. Waffle. I got to use
And
to
she
say
does
that.
too. Yeah.
Yes,
she does.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just a really interesting concept to me. And I just love the fact that small, shop small, right?
Yeah, I agree. How often do the actual in-person events take place?
Well, we've only done 4 as of right now, but we have 10 more on the books for just 2022.
Oh, wow.
And we have 2 more in the works, like contracts being made up right now.
So it's been a success.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell by the one we went to.
I'm trying to stay humble as much as we can.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's we
But
show
we love
up
what we
nervous.
do.
Of course.
Nobody's coming. And
She says it every time to me. She goes, I don't know if we're gonna make it.
I
don't
like
know if
that,
we're gonna
though.
have
I feel
it.
like there's
I
value
said, you
in
said that
staying
last
humble like
time.
that.
And it was great,
And we
right?
had 4,000 people show up.
I love it.
We're gonna be fine.
So that's what I wanted to ask, because I said to Dan, I said, gosh, I wonder how much traffic. How do you get a count of how many people are coming through? Are you just estimating? Do you do a check-in? Like, what
parking lots?
Part
Okay.
of it is parking lots. There's a couple different factors that you can play into. A lot of it actually plays into food. Because like I said before, I'm a baker, and so statistically about 10 to 15% of what you bring quantity wise, that should be about, you times that by something. And now I'm getting the math wrong.
There's too
I
much
thought you were
math
gonna
involved
say-
this morning.
Yeah.
But
I brought for our first event, which was back in October 9th, I think it was our very first event
of
this last year.
21?
Yeah, just a few months ago.
Oh, wow.
I had brought just shy of 400 treats to sell, and I sold out.
Wow.
So you take that and times it by a certain number, and that's what it was. So
Because a
that's how we
certain
got
percentage of
the
people are going to
estimation.
purchase.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bought as well.
and then the trucks, them selling so much food, they have a statistic to run by, and that's how we guesstimated. And
how
then
many
obviously
people?
running out of parking spots,
And you guys are very great hostess. Can I say hostess?
hostesses.
Hostess. There's always a word I can't get. But I saw Sheena taking waters around to the vendors.
Yes, they love
I've
that.
never seen this before in my
that's
life.
new
Just to
for
let you
us.
know, it's new. It's great. I think that's a special.
Needed.
It's a simple thing, right? But it's a touch, especially in Florida, that maybe they forgot water. They don't have time to run over and get a water.
It's like you're hosting the event, not just
it's
book
so
your
hot
space.
It's no longer cold.
Yeah.
That's a big issue. Like some people are like, I have water. I'm like, from 7 a.m.
Yeah.
It's 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Take some cold water.
Yeah.
Yeah, stay hydrated. I don't need you passing out.
Well, someone explained it to me kind of perfectly because I couldn't get the words right. But we have customers, obviously, that come to the market for our vendors.
Yeah.
But the vendors are our customers.
Yes.
So we want to take care of our customers.
I love. Yeah.
So that's what my mindset is. Not just, I want to get those customers in here to fill up this market quickly,
Yeah.
to get our vendors having a good day. I want our vendors to have a good day too because of how we treat them.
Yeah.
And we want them to come back and apply for future markets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if they don't come back, then we don't have a market.
And this is how you find new vendors too, because there's vendors that are coming
Word of
there
mouth.
that have
As
not
shoppers.
set up, and they're like,
Oh, yeah.
"This is impressive."
The
like,
word of mouth
the
that the vendors have really is what supports us and gets us to a new group of eyes.
Yeah.
Because they go to a market the following weekend and say, well, I was just at, a market last weekend. You need to reach out to them because it was amazing.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And I heard about you guys from a small business. So a few of them actually, because Joe grows. He sets up at their markets now.
Okay,
Joey.
nice.
Yeah, we like Joey.
Bailey is setting up at your
Oh, yes.
next market.
Next week.
So the
Yes.
hair
She'll be
flare and the
here.
nails. Mindy, of course. So the craft scented bar that I went to and made candles with the girls.
Okay.
Their grand opening is on the 15th, and they will be there. So
we
you
will
guys
be
will
there,
be in
yes.
Eustis in the park, correct?
In the parking lot right in front of her store,
Right in
we
front of the
have
store.
30 vendors plus a food truck, plus the toddlers of Lake County are going to be there, and the
What are the toddlers of Lake County?
Toddlers of Lake County is another new group that just started where, moms of young children
Okay, so it's like
can
a
get together.
Oh, it's like
so
a
they're going to
group.
have a kids zone for the moms and things to be able to
love
still shop around in the parking lot. Well,
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
But this
we're
is
gonna have
part
a
of the
lot going on.
planning because that's a very small little area, right? The Crafted Scent Bar is a small little intimate place.
oh yeah.
But the parking lot's small, so you guys kind of had to say, okay, what vendors are going to work well here? Because you guys are looking out for your vendors. You want them to be able to
Be successful.
sell out.
No
Absolutely.
duplicates are at this market because of the fact that it's
Yeah.
only 30. Now, when
The
we have
duplicates,
80
I think that's an
plus
important thing,
vendors,
too.
that's a different
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, so you're looking for, so you might have one person that does, two people that might sell soap, because I did see that, but you're looking for something a little different in them, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Like more versatile. And that's another problem we run into at other market events where, you have 3 or 4 or 5 booths that are really similar, and
And they're next to each other.
Yeah.
right next to each other.
that too.
And it's hurtful. I mean,
Yeah.
you can go in there with a smile, but inside it's hurtful because
And it hurts
you
sales.
spend a lot of time preparing for this market.
Yeah.
You show up, your neighbor has the same exact thing, and you're not specifically fighting for sales, but you are. Like
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
trying to outdo each other to be noticed, and that's not great.
And it takes
you leave with a
energy
good
away,
friend, though.
too.
Yeah,
Sure.
it does.
Yes,
it does.
right.
Because you might, not be as friendly as your tent next to you if
Keep
you
lowering
know
the
that you got
prices
to pull
back and
people in.
That's
you know?
happened in the
Yeah.
middle of a market.
I bet.
Somebody's done it. So it's not fun, but we take that into consideration when doing the layout.
Yeah.
I have a whole color coordination system.
It's a day.
I
We
love
spend
it. Though. You
hours
guys are
going
very
through it.
coordinated with this. It sounds like you put a lot more effort into it than, and no disparagement, but I've done a lot of festivals and things, and it becomes a blueprint they just keep following every year. It seems like
Yeah.
you guys really dig in each time you do one.
Yeah, like they're in the same exact location that they were the year before. Like
Oh, yes.
no thought kind of went
Sometimes-
into it.
Sometimes the vendors ask for that.
Yeah.
And there's sometimes reasoning like
Traffic flow or what?
our
Or
food,
lighting.
our food vendors in a certain area because that's just where they are. Some
Yeah.
vendors actually ask specifically to be in that area because they have had customers come back looking for them in that spot and they weren't there, but we had moved them. The sun, like
For like
she
soap
said,
makers,
Oh,
like
yeah.
their soap can melt, so we make sure that they're
Or my
not in
baked
a
goods.
sun facing. Yeah. So
Or packaging too. The sun can melt someone's packaging.
Sure.
Yeah, the
Yes.
plastic.
Depending on what it
especially in
is.
Florida.
Yes.
Well, the last one we did, I have books sitting up, and they put me in a spot. It wasn't anyone's fault, where there was a channel in between 2 buildings across from us, and the wind was so strong it was taking my
We were
tent.
holding the
Well, I
tent the
spent
whole
the whole day
gosh.
holding a corner
Just us
of it.
two. Tried to
So
hold
yeah,
this
I
one
could see
hand,
why
which is
maybe
so
you do or
important.
don't want to move sometimes.
Yes, we require them to have tent rates. That's one of the
Tent rates, yeah.
things that we go through before like opening. Like we walk through and make sure everyone's tents have the weights, have what they're supposed to have.
Yeah,
that's part of my checklist she joked
sure,
about.
that's awesome.
My triple checklist. I've
Yes.
got
Well-
every vendor and everything.
Yeah, now
to
is
check
that
off.
like kind of part of their agreement too? Like you make sure that they're
Yeah.
following certain criteria, like their
It's in the
tent is
contract.
presentable. Good.
They
Yeah,
get
when they
a little
apply,
list
it's
of
on
things.
the contract.
Well,
Yeah.
that helps them too, though.
Yeah, and that's where the quality comes in as far as that, everything kind of is like cohesive. Am I using that word
Yeah.
correctly?
Yeah.
They always
Yeah,
have
because
to
it would
ask.
affect more than one person if someone's
Yeah.
tent went flying down the aisle.
Yeah, or if something's
Right.
all ripped and ugly looking. Yeah, it
Yeah.
just, it throws everything off. So
But
I think
it
that's
helps
great.
the vendor too, because if you're new at this, I mean, it's like camping. When you're camping and I wish I had brought a rope. And then you bring a rope the next time. And the first few events we did, it's like, oh, next time we need a tablecloth. Next time so if you have that list for them, I know it keeps the quality high. But as a vendor, it also
So
helps to make
helpful.
sure, I didn't think
we-
of that. I needed weights.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that.
We
So-
do that in the small business group.
I was about to
Almost
say.
Yeah.
every event, like right before, probably about a week or two before every event, especially our bigger ones. And we know that there's new people, unlike Crafted Simpar that's coming up this upcoming week. They're all veterans to our
Sure.
group because
Yeah.
it's such a small group. But they go through creating what is like a post,
checklist.
like a checklist post.
And we
thread.
go live and explain it as well.
We say, okay, veteran vendors, put on here what you think you need for the, your events. And they start, and then the new ones are like, oh, I didn't think about that.
Right.
Oh, that's a great idea. We always remind them, make sure to eat. Make sure to drink
Gas the
water.
night before.
Get gas the night
Yeah.
before. Bring this.
Change.
Bring that.
Yeah.
And I actually have I call it my oh crap kit. And I bring that to every market. And it has been used at every single
Yeah,
market
it
by
always
different
comes in
vendors.
handy.
I got
Always
Band-Aids,
forgets something.
scissors,
Someone didn't
usually
think
me.
of-
rope.
I mean, I did see that you guys bought a trailer.
Yeah.
So is that just to kind of haul all those things? I mean,
Now
obviously
it
you're
is.
doing great.
Now it is.
It's
That
a
wasn't the
great
plan.
photo spot, though. So it's a great place for people to, get a little photo, tag you guys, so great marketing there. But it's also probably to kind of bring merchandise, bring all those oh crap kits that you need and extra stuff like that, right?
Yeah, our intention originally was to sell also out of it as kind of what
Like a little storefront.
It's that
Like that one girl that had the little boutique there.
yes, kind
That
of
was
like that.
really cool.
But it has become more useful as a
Yeah.
storage.
We learned,
Yeah.
it evolved. And we also realized that we should not be separated from the customers coming because a lot of people are coming to see the three of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be sort of stepped back,
like inside the trailer.
was
It put a
not
barrier.
going to be we want everyone to feel like they're coming home,
Yeah.
and to see their friends versus they're just coming to any
Shop.
Another
market.
event.
Yeah.
Do you all, I don't know how long you've had the trailer, but do you always sort of set it up at the entrance like that, like it was
Our
at the
very
other one?
first event
That was
with
our
the
first
trailer.
Oh, because I liked that.
Sheena
You
and I
said
busted our butt to get that thing.
We did. We
That was-
And then
painted
she
it.
did all the floral and everything for
Yes.
it was
sign.
great, and it also made it very clear that this is your event. I know it's everyone else, but this is a Whimsy Market event, and it was very professional and official looking to me when you
Thanks.
first
I love
walked
that.
in and you
Yeah.
see
We
it.
I love
didn't want
that's
it
the
to be-
message that it got across.
Yeah.
We didn't want it just to be I
white
came
trailer
to
sitting
Sheena.
there,
Well,
right?
no, actually, we originally were talking about having a Whimsy booth in general because we wanted an informational area.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just evolved, and I told Sheena, I was like, all right, how does this sound? How about a trailer? So it stands out more.
Yep.
Yes, we still have the booth on one side, technically with the tent, but then the other side being, it evolved.
Like a picture spot
all these
and-
ideas
Yeah.
evolved, and so we have the picture spot on one side, we have the informational on the other. Then it grew into also selling merchandise with our Whimsy,
Which was nice too, because
logo.
we all kind of get incorporated in that. Like,
Yeah.
my small business is For You by Rue, and I do florals. I specialize in wreaths. So I was able to do the garland for the photo op on the side. And then we have the t-shirts, which,
Do one of you make T-shirts?
I do.
Yes.
With
Look
my
at
MS
this.
line.
yeah.
She made
Okay.
these.
Yes.
She made these awesome
And where do you
shirts.
sell them online?
On my website, which is www.myemmasline.com.
Cool.
And I do a lot of our small businesses t-shirts.
Like all the logo,
All mine.
like almost all of the logo tees you'll see at the markets are usually done by Sheena.
I have done those.
Oh, we might be in touch because we're going to need some shirts too.
Yes, we do.
That's awesome.
But another thing that made having our own trailer and booth there is, like they had mentioned, we no longer have our own personal booth.
Yeah.
So this was a way for us to still have a presence. And
Yeah.
be like, we didn't leave. You know, we weren't a vendor here, no longer available.
You're still-
we
yeah.
are here. And, you know, you can find all three of us and see what we're doing and get caught up with our businesses, even though you don't see our product.
Yeah.
You will see, you know, representation of the three of us.
Well, which a lot of our customers.
And Nikki,
We're
what
still
is
sad
what is
about
your
that.
business?
I'm a baker.
That's right.
So I own Nikki Sweet Cakes.
Okay.
And I don't quite fit into the Whimsy booth as easily as they do.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
mine's
Do
a little
you
bit
sell
different.
these sweet cakes there? 'Cause
I can't. Yep, I have a booth usually at the last events. This was our first one that we did not.
We all coordinated.
do.
This was
We
the
just-
first one.
We fully
which is
focused.
probably good, right? Because
Well, we had to.
It was
we
big.
We had to make the decision that
Yeah.
we are either going to be vendors or we are coordinators.
Okay.
And so we all three made the decision to put our businesses aside and just throw ourselves into being coordinators for the event. And it went too smooth.
No, she said that. She said that.
all
But it
day
was-
she was waiting for like the other shoe to drop. She's like,
That's how
"Oh,
I
it's too
am.
smooth."
All
We were
day.
like,
That's how I
"Sheena,
am.
it's
It was
okay."
seamless.
Like,
you know,
I have a philosophy that it's better to be surprised by the success of something than to be disappointed by the failure of it. That's my.
Can we put
Yes.
that on a shirt, ma'am? And have you wear it?
you're wearing that one,
That
yeah.
is me. I have such anxiety about things because I'm just used to things going wrong. But I do like, my personality type is I like to jump in and fix things.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and especially with like people you love. And we come up with problems and we all fix them together.
Yeah.
And we
Problem
brainstorm
solvers.
together. And,
We're all very
I
different.
enjoy that a lot.
Sure.
I think the only
But
problem
I-
we had was a car not moving, and that was it. And then that was.
Wow.
Literally,
I
it.
kept telling him over the walkie-talkies, like, stop saying that because I am going to lose it if something goes wrong. It's going great. Leave it
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
And it was perfect. But we
Perfect
have
weather too, wasn't it?
It was great weather, and we have talks about, you know, like the customers were sad that we didn't have our own booths. We were a little bit sad that we didn't have that, but we might bring it back where we're all three in one booth
Yeah.
and having our products there so they can still see our stuff and we can have
Yeah.
a little bit of revenue ourselves. But we really want to focus on coordinating to
Yeah.
make our vendors and customers' day way more, run smoothly.
Yeah, so you guys said you've kind of stepped aside from, setting up as vendors at your events. Are you guys all doing this full time now? Or do you have full-time
No.
jobs? Or
What do you
just
call full time? Because
Like, is
we
this a
put about
side
80
hustle?
thing?
hours.
Okay, well, like more than full-time. Whatever
This
you
is
wanna
not
call
our
it.
only thing. No.
Yeah.
No.
Sheena, what do you do?
So I have my boutique that I run online, but my vision and my goal that I think I bring constantly, like, okay, let's remember this. This is what we would like, would be by the end of 2023 that we have enough markets and enough small businesses in the Waffle Group that it could support the three of us to do this full time.
love
Erica
it.
works outside of the house, and
I do work for a mortgage company full time.
And then she
as
has
well.
her wreath business
And
Yeah.
the wreath business.
and a toddler.
And a 3-year-old. Yeah.
Oh
And a
my
dog.
goodness.
Yep,
Aren't
and
you
a
supposed to be
pitbull.
at work right now?
I was working until about 2 a.m. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Making wreaths. Yeah. And then I was
Wow.
like, I have about 4 hours to sleep. So yep. time
And
for
do
bed.
you sell your wreaths online as well? Do you have an Etsy page or do you have a website?
I have an Etsy. I don't update it frequently, but I do a lot of my sales on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
We'll put all your links to all your stuff in our show notes.
yeah.
and all
Oh,
that
awesome.
stuff
Thank
for
you.
Sure.
All the side businesses.
We may reach out for more details. Just
I
so
might
can
be
plug it in.
working a while on all the links that we got to add to
It's
this
gonna.
one.
we have all of them if
Yeah.
you just need us to send them
that's
to you.
No, I can work a little bit, Sheena. It's okay. He really does all the hard work with all this the technological. There's another word I can't say.
But is it
Anonymity.
hard for you?
It's fun for him.
It's fun for me, but it's tedious. I mean,
is
it's
tedious.
changed a lot for this. When we started
Okay,
this.
but it's tedious because he is a perfectionist.
Yep.
Who's a yeah? When she
I've got
said-
multiple
when
jobs
she said
myself,
color
so
coordinated.
if I'm
Right
not
there, we already know.
But
perfectionist,
it made it so easy.
Yeah.
I mean, it really did. And she complains when she has to change colors on things, but it really gives us a visual.
But there's so many colors in the rainbow, Nikki.
there's
for
a lot of shades.
For those of you
there's so many
guys,
shades.
so for those of you that are not watching the YouTube video and just listening, Erica and Sheena in perfect unison looked at Nikki right when you said perfectionist. So,
But that's why it works so well, is we're all so different.
Yeah.
So we all bring different perspectives.
And you fill in different gaps to keep it all together.
Yes.
That's great.
And if I wasn't, I don't think I could do everything that I'm doing, because if I would probably lose it.
Yeah, it's a curse sometimes.
Because I don't
That's
just
what
do
Dan
this.
says. If he's not super organized, he'd be a hot mess, right?
Yeah, I'm I'm all the way
All the
one
way
way or the other, so I have to be
Yeah.
like that, or I would just be a dumpster fire. And
You know what
everything
I'm
would be-
like? Oh, we're just gonna wing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm organized to a certain
I'd start getting a
degree, but I'm
twitch.
That's kind of how she
just gonna
is.
wing it. It's gonna be.
It's always
fine.
last minute. That's what we get. I'm just
thrive
coming.
on chaos.
Yes.
You know what?
Caffeine and chaos
you
is
like
it.
to problem solve. You're
It's-
like, what?
you can meet in the middle
I like to
sometimes, though. That's what we've
We
done.
do, and but like we have, I do this part, and then I got my cake business that's full time and almost every single weekend, and then I've got a toddler at home and
Wow.
an umpteen amount of animals and
Yeah.
a husband, and I manage my husband's business as well, and
wow.
so it's a lot. And then we also do outside stuff with Whimsy. Also, we do weekly meetings with all of our vendors. Well, the ones that can
So,
show,
like, networking
like
events.
a networking
Yeah.
Is
event.
that in person or do you do
In
that via
person.
You in
Tuesday
person?
mornings,
Wow.
and it's I think it's going to go to 9 a.m. It was 9:30, but the 9 a.m. seemed to work really nice.
We stay
You
longer.
can drop your but drop your kids off at school. If they're school
Okay.
age, and then come join us for an hour or two. And
Where
can
do you
come and
guys
go.
meet for that? Usually, is it different places? Or?
Yeah.
Supporting small local businesses, and we've had four so far, and we have another one scheduled next week. And it's gotten to the point where it's organized enough where we're having speakers come, and so
Love
you're
it.
not just chit chatting. You're going to take a little bit of information.
It has value. It has value. And those are free. Those are a
free
event?
and kid friendly. The ones in the the
Tuesday
ones in the mornings on
Okay.
Tuesdays, but we have bi-monthly
Bi-monthly.
evening like dinner kind of networking. Those are not kid friendly because we want it to be more.
And we're going to local
dinner.
small businesses for those too.
Yes.
I love that you
we
guys are
love
doing
Mexican restaurants.
that. Okay.
So
We don't like to go to
we
too
usually
many-
Go there.
You need to go to Tornatori's one night. It's in Orlando
well,
though.
we're
It's a little further
You
away.
guys are Lake County.
except
I know.
for Erica.
I'm local. I live right here in Altamont.
And I
I know,
will
but you're
take
going to
her to
be growing
Tornatori's.
and you're going to
Yeah.
be coming to this area.
Eventually
so
we will.
eventually you're going to grow.
You will or
Yeah.
won't take her
I mean,
there.
we're coming slowly. We're in a
good.
Popka now, so we are, inching our way
Yes.
closer.
I was going to ask that, where it's like, when did this start, by the way? When did you guys put this whole thing together initially?
Well,
August
you started the
2020.
waffle page when?
August 2020.
But,
August
but like,
2020.
and then she got it rolling.
okay, you may have said that. The
Then
markets.
and then the markets were October
October was our
9th
first one. Yep.
of 21 was our very first one.
So this has taken off, it seems like. I mean, it seems like it's taken off pretty quickly.
You know what I love
Our
about
community
this?
needed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did. There were so many women that needed connection and friendships.
And men.
We have
We're
we
getting
have the
men.
men of women.
But
Yes.
there a lot of booths that you go to are female ran. They're
Yeah.
ran by females.
Yeah.
A lot of them are.
Yeah.
I want more
And their
men
spouses there
vendors.
for help, but
Yeah.
Sure.
If any men are listening, I really need more men vendors because we need things for men that are coming with their
Yeah,
Yeah,
wives.
because
like
the
the beard
guy-
oils that
Yes.
Joey's doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just
like
takes away from the girl products, though.
That's what our Girls' Day
like
event
girl
is
power.
for, ma'am.
Yeah, I will say, as the man in the room, it does give you something to do. I mean, I like some of the artsy stuff too, but it gives us something to do
Yeah.
while you're looking at things like soaps and things.
But even if it's only
Yeah.
4 or 5 vendors out
Right.
of say 60,
Yep.
my husband will sit there and chit chat with that
Of course.
that vendor
Same.
for a little while
Yep.
while I'm running around and doing what I want to do.
Right.
And it keeps him happy and he's fine and whatever.
and you're going to stay
but-
there longer and shop longer.
Yeah,
right?
because he's
Yeah.
happy instead of annoyed. But that's why I like having like Joe and the woodworkers, and I'm trying to get a knife, like a blacksmith or
Okay.
Like leather working.
worker.
yeah, I was going
like
to
a
say,
true
put your
leather
ideas
worker.
out there of what
You're
what
looking
you
for.
would be looking for.
Fishing.
Fishing lures
Fishing.
or
Oh, that's a
fishing
good one.
I have seen
shirts.
I have seen a leather worker
We've seen a few, but
and are the woodworking guy.
That
we know.
woodworking guy from the
the
Pop
wine,
Art
wood, and
Foliage Festival.
whiskey.
He does like whiskey barrels that he converts into like clocks and all kind of.
I've got his card.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Already on
I've
top
got
of it.
probably about 100 cards
Very
that
nice.
I don't want to bombard everybody all in one day because I also have to add them to my phone.
Yes.
There's an app for
And you
that.
have to keep track of
There
it.
is. There's an app you can take a picture of a business card and it puts it right into your contacts.
Oh, that's
show
good
you.
to know.
I'll show you on the way
You'll
out.
have to show me that one because that'll be so much easier.
You know what I love about this story, though, is we saw this trend in 2020. So many people were trying to figure out something else to do.
Because of the COVID.
And
Oh,
so
yeah. Stuck at
many successful businesses that we've had on the show have been born out of 2020 and the
Yes.
chaos that it was.
Yeah.
And it is just, it's very inspiring.
It's like a weird blessing in disguise.
Yeah, it's really cool. We had James Hicks, who started a financial for years. He'd been doing helping people with finances, and in 2020, it's exploded because people are worried about money. They're worried about their money
People are
now.
saving
since
more.
2020.
Job stability is not as, there's a lot of
know.
jobs lost with all the.
So with just lots of stories that we've heard.
We do have vendors like those as well, just for people listening. We don't
really?
do just product.
Oh,
We
that's
also
a great.
So if you want to
do
advertise,
services. We've had cleaning services,
Detailers.
Massage.
auto detailer,
An
massage,
esthetician joined us. She did phenomenal.
the water treatment out in Umatilla
Oh,
joined
so
us.
people just go to the booth and sign up for the service, learn about it, and sign up
Learn
for it at
about
the
it.
event. Oh,
It's
that's
a way
awesome.
for them to
Connect
market.
with a potential customer.
Yeah.
So when I was curious about one thing you said before. When you do these meetings that are, the dinner meetings or the kid-friendly ones, with the vendors, is this giving them tips, getting feedback on how they feel like it's going? What happens during those meetings?
all of the above.
All of the above. Okay.
Well, you said you have speakers now, so that's amazing.
Yeah, the first couple
It's
were
a
to
lot.
get to know. Sorry.
I was going to say, it's a lot of getting to know the other small business owner. We just now have introduced speakers, but more of let's create more than just a surface friendship. There's a lot of bonds being created
Oh, nice.
and collaborations that are in
yeah.
the work. And these businesses, like even with my t-shirts, I'm only getting the same amount of people. And I had realized, well, after so many t-shirts, I can't sell, you any more t-shirts. You
Right.
have enough. So a way was like collaborating with another company who does like maybe earrings. So now my t-shirts are being shown to these earring, and I wouldn't have had that opportunity if we didn't have these network meetings.
Well, that's the
And
nature
you're also
of
in a
business
boutique
growth.
now too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
You're where?
Oh, you're in.
I'm inside of Magnolia Grace Beauty Co. I have a retail section inside of there.
Oh, that is
Nice.
cool.
And then the esthetician that joined our market, and she kicked butt that day. So these really great interworking relationships are born. And I know I'm not the only one. There's a lot of success stories.
A lot of the people who carry items have gotten in touch with people with storefronts and have now been able to sell their products full time in restaurants and other small businesses with storefronts.
Yeah, I love that. It kind of maybe helps them get outside of their shell of asking if they can put their product somewhere.
Yes.
Because there's so many little boutique-y places that you could say, hey, I would love to put my display of hand lotions here or soaps here. And they're perfectly willing to do it because they're a small business as well. So this is probably teaching them to kind of get outside of their comfort zone
icebreaker.
and ask for it,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
That's
really
huge, though.
Yeah,
that is
it is.
huge. And that's how small business works. It's a friendship, basically, that starts to make it work, right?
Oh, 100%.
So what are so we're talking about speakers at these like networking events. What is your goal for like what type of speakers do you want to have? Like maybe we have some public speakers or people that could speak to a topic, like Dan could speak about technology and how people could use certain apps and things like that to help run their business.
That
I'm
would
just
be
saying. I just you
amazing.
like talking in front of people. So
No, that's our goal.
Yeah.
That's our goal.
yeah.
To have themes, yeah.
Our last speaker, he did talking, about 30 minutes. He talked about branding and how things you need to think about when you're branding your company. And he's going to follow up this coming Tuesday about marketing. And now that you've really thought about your branding and the colors of your business and why you're doing what you're doing, and then he did a Q&A as well afterwards. Now it's the marketing part and how you can implement your branding and your marketing together and just grow your business. And he has a thriving business that you can look at and see you do practice what you preach.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's something that I've really been thinking about, because I had quite a few people ask me like, well, would you be interested in this? And you might be really knowledgeable about something, but I need to see it in practice where I can show people this is where the credibility comes from.
Sure.
And you can visually see it, not saying that they aren't doing it, but I need to, on social media, because we're a social media group, show them like, this is why we trust them.
But I love that, because it's like, I watch a motivational speaker and wonder, how does this guy know that this is the way to do it? Is he successful with this? For all I know, this is the first time he's ever done this speech, and he doesn't really even know what he's talking about. Not to be rude, but you need the proof.
You really don't know.
No, I've thought the same thing before. Listening to people.
So you want to see the proof, because I would agree. As soon as you see that level of success, you're really tuned in.
They either practice what they preach, or they do it as their profession.
Yeah.
Like you deal things with technology.
Right.
That's a different story than just, I'm a baker, but I know a little bit about technology.
Right.
That's different.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think like if you want to do something financial, I think get them in contact with James Hicks.
We've been dying for financial or tax.
And
he
a lot
is
of
super
different
well
financial
spoken, and
things.
he knows a lot.
I would love that, because I follow Profit First. And I know that there's a lot of different financial ways that you can follow for your business to make it a profitable business.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I would love to get a couple different financial speakers that bring a different perspective and philosophy.
And he deals with small businesses, so that's what
Very
we're
well
about.
spoken, very well dressed, very
Okay, so everybody's showing up
Q&A.
casual T-shirts, and their kids might have on different shoes. My kid came to the market and didn't bring
I'm
shoes.
sure he can be.
Yes,
I'm sure he can-
flexible.
Kinsley had purple and tie-dye Crocs on this morning, and it was a fight I was not having. I said, at least they're both Crocs. We're leaving. Let's go.
I'm sure, it's just...
Hey, it's creative.
Whatever's appropriate to the event.
Oh, yeah. I let her
I
dress
was playing
herself.
hide and seek with my dad over FaceTime. So, kids are kids. They'll
Sure.
just do whatever they want to do.
Of course. And a lot of it's parents with kids trying to juggle all this.
That's part of our thing.
A
We
lot of
are
us.
very family oriented, and we don't mind having kids obviously at our events. We do only have one rule for our vendors, is that kids younger than 13, so 12 and under, are not actually allowed in the booths during market hours.
Yeah.
We want you to treat it as your storefront.
Business.
It's a business.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
a mini storefront for the day. That's what you're renting our space for, your storefront. And we want you to be as professional as possible.
course.
It is very hard to run a business with a 4-year-old or, even a 10-year-old, to run around to somewhere you have no idea where you're
Where they
at, and
went.
they have to go get food or
they're
go to the
tired
bathroom,
or
or they're tired,
hungry,
hungry.
and-
Something happens, whatever. And it's difficult, but, we have loosened up the reins, because it was even older. It was over high school age, but we dropped it down to 13 because we feel that teenagers they can go to the bathroom. They can go get
Sure.
They can go get
on their
food.
own.
But that makes it a better
But they can be
experience for the
beneficial
buyer.
too,
Beneficial.
because they're learning from their parents
yes.
how to run a successful business.
Yep. Yes.
How
a
to
great
talk to
learning
people.
opportunity for
But that doesn't mean they're not allowed at the event. They
Sure.
are allowed to be there. They just cannot be in the booth.
In the booth.
They can be there during setup. They can
With
be
a
there
caregiver.
with a caregiver,
Yeah.
But I
not just
think
running
that-
around.
Makes it better for the buyer too, because as a buyer in these places, not to be mean again, but I don't want to deal. I'm trying to
wanna deal
buy
with your
something,
screaming kid.
and now
Our
you're
kids are
trying to
older.
juggle something, and you had to take off, and it's like,
Not every kid is the same. Not every family is that
Sure.
way. We understand that there are some kids that are just beyond amazing, and they'll just sit
Sure.
there and do nothing. Just
But-
be good.
But we don't need them to have an off day
But we can't-
at our market.
you have to wait.
we can't trust that they won't have an off day.
What we say in my line of work is the process is not for the exception. You can't put a process together for the exception.
No.
You'll have a million different rules for a million different people.
But what I do,
Right.
if anybody is listening and you want to go to the event that the Whimsy Market has at Sensational Farms, your kids have plenty to do there. Let me just say that, because
Yeah.
the farm itself has all these
The bounce houses and the
bounce houses and
slides.
Yeah, it's like a
slides and-
fair on one
it's
side
like a
almost.
That's what we look for when we're picking locations,
Yeah.
is what's going to create a family memory. We don't want just you to come and buy things from us. We want you to have lunch and talk with your family. We want you to have your kids a fun place to go get worn out and play while dad watches them, and you can shop or, you guys have
Vice versa.
I use things like that as a bargaining tool with my kids. Like, let's do this and have a great time, and then we will end it with a great time at the bounce house.
Yes.
Oh, I should have done that. If you're good,
that's right.
if you're well behaved, I should say.
Mom gets to have her fun too, and then we can go have
Well,
her
see,
fun.
I've learned with my kids, like, it's not mom's going to have fun. We're going to go have fun.
Oh, I like
Let's
that.
go
Yeah.
shop for all of us.
Yeah.
Let's find something.
But now I have kids that are unrealistic.
They've gotten
I've
smarter.
never fought, with my kids about, not wanting to do something.
Yeah.
Just it worked for us.
But that's part of our planning, like she said, with our venues, is that we don't just choose any venue. We go, we research, we look, we make sure that it would even fit our vendors. And then we look at it as, okay, would it even bring a good experience for our customers as well? Can we fit these experiences in here for our customers, or is it just going to be a shopping based experience?
Who to target?
Who, what kind of market are we going to run here? Which there are some that
and
we're
which
not going to
vendors
have.
are we going to ask to come? Because
Right.
you probably, when you do put an event together, you probably the Girls' Day event.
Yep, those are
you're
all women based.
all women based businesses.
Marketing's totally different.
The marketing's
Yeah.
different, but you know that if Joe Gross says, "Hey, I'm going to be at you go, well, you're not a good fit for that one, but we're going to put you on this one over here."
We do that.
Well, yeah.
We send them an email like,
That's
you've
wonderful.
been placed on the wait list for this, but we encourage you, please apply for this show. But also I've noticed that when people put in applications and it's more of a theme show, they can rise to the level too, or, to the occasion and say, well, normally I do this, but I can
Embrace
alter,
the theme.
Okay,
what
embrace
Alter
the
and tweak
theme.
their
Yeah.
product to fit the theme
But that helps vendors
and
too.
try new things.
And they're also seeing the value in being at these markets
Of
because
course.
they've been successful.
They've also
at
been
past
willing
ones.
to not bring things that we've asked them to not bring.
Yeah.
Because they want to join our markets.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been some people like, no, I'm sorry, but that's a majority of what I sell.
So
I'm
it's
sorry, I
not a
can't
good-
do it. But then we're like, okay, well, we apologize, but unfortunately, there's already been one approved that only sells that. So we can't have that
That-
duplicate.
we try to find a balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we spend a lot of time
That's a great
thinking it,
idea.
overthinking, and then reaching out to the small businesses, looking at their social medias. Like, before we just call them and say, no, you can't bring this, we'll sort of look at other things that they do and
Try to work with them and fit
Yeah.
them in
Yeah.
where we can.
and then suggest, hey, can you bring this? Because they may not think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or something they usually don't bring to markets. We're like, well, we think this will be great for the target audience that we're trying to reach.
Yeah, because we
I-
want something for that target audience to purchase while
Oh, of
they're there.
course.
Right. I think even if you don't if you don't make the cut for a certain event, that helps the vendor
so
too,
sad.
because you don't want to sit there
And not
like I
sell
said
it.
with those books
Yeah.
all day because the event's not right for me and I shouldn't be here.
And then you get
So it's almost it's helpful.
And we have had that, and it
Yeah.
was really hard to put them, to not invite them, but we
Right,
do
but-
not want somebody to have, because
Gonna
it's
haul it, all your stuff.
they get discouraged.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you don't make sales, you get discouraged, definitely. So we're excited that you guys are coming to Apopka because this is our little hometown here. And the first event that you're doing is at Fox Valley Farm and Hop Yard.
Yes.
That is my stomach crawling. Just so everybody knows.
Thought it was mine.
It's yours or ours. Yeah.
It's almost lunchtime.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that event. I think it's May 22nd, your first event there, correct?
Yep.
And we're kind of like testing the ground over there is what we're doing.
We are.
It's going to be amazing.
It
I can
is,
already
yeah,
tell you.
I think
We've
so.
done an
Danjee
event there.
set us in contact with Jennifer over at Fox Valley. And we weren't necessarily sure when we pulled up, but the more we
Oh.
dived into all they offer and just started brainstorming, because it will be very different than the experience that we are providing at Sensational Farms.
Sure.
So, we came up with a great plan for November. And then I messaged her, Nikki, and was like, I'm nervous because I'm always nervous. Like, this is going to be a big event. What do you think if we do a smaller scaled event so that we have the opportunity to learn if we need to make improvements before we take on a 2-day grand?
Feel out the location.
Yeah, by the way, that's our first 2-day event.
Oh, that's gonna be amazing.
I suggested that, and I was like, what do you think? Are we crazy? And she goes, no, let's do it.
We are
and then,
crazy,
like
though.
she said, she has that.
Let's not say we're not, because we definitely are.
But then she had that anxiety come back a few days later and says, I don't know. I said, Sheena, we've already put out the applications. Do not even come out
And
to
usually
me.
they'll toss it back and forth, and then they'll say, okay, Erica, we're going to need you to decide. And I'm like,
She's a
let's
little-
not put all that on me. And I'm like, give me a couple minutes to think about it. And then they give me their points, and, I give them my points, and we usually come to a happy medium, and that's where we usually make
She's
our
our good
decisions.
tiebreaker. That's why we have 3.
Because they have the time, and they're able to go out and map out the locations,
Sure.
view everything out. They'll like FaceTime me or whatever while they're there, and I'll be able to see everything, and they'll tell me, oh, look at this, or like this is something to think about, and then they get all their pros and cons and bring them to me, and I'm usually the tiebreaker, and I'm like, ugh.
I know this is going to be a great turnout.
I think so,
know
too.
it is.
I know
because
it will be.
it's Such a beautiful.
I'm
That's just me.
excited.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful location.
So
and
this
there's
is where my
shade.
anxiety comes in. Apopka has very different marketing than Lake County. There are not word of mouth groups like we have out there.
No, there's
and
not.
they do not have, the few that are available do not have very set rules, and they seem very cliquish. It's the same people posting.
Yeah.
Or not approving post. And so my anxiety is, well, how are we going to get all of these people to know about, we're coming there May 22nd.
Well,
So-
I think that we're still going to pull from Lake County as well.
And then some of those
people will
groups,
come.
but-
Because it's not that far from Lake County.
It's
and
a Popka, but it only takes me 40 minutes from Leesburg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't
get
take
there.
long. Now that we have like the 429 too.
Yeah,
like,
I go
it
the
runs
truck
through
route.
there. Yep.
Yeah.
And I go straight across the truck route, straight across the 441, and boom. down
It's a
to Pumpkin.
Popka technically, but it's also right on the edge.
Of
It's
Lake
almost
County.
Lake County.
It's like- yes.
Yeah,
So it's
like
That's
a
my
little bit
point.
down the road in your Lake
That's-
County.
But it's also
Like,
only 15 minutes from me in Seminole County.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
It's a great
It's like a
location.
kind of central location.
I grew up
you know?
there. My mom graduated from Apopka High School. So did I.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I've
me
been
too.
there my
That's
whole
actually
life.
my childhood home, the Fox Valley
What's your
Farm and
mom's
Hop Yard.
Oh,
name?
okay.
Denise Foy.
Do you know?
What year did she graduate?
Long time ago. She's like a long time ago.
Yeah, and I don't think so. Not right off the top of my head, but I
So
can't remember.
tell us the date and the time of the event at Fox Valley, and then how many vendors do you have, and what is it geared towards? Just so everybody in the audience knows.
I'm going to send you over to Nikki because I don't know the specifics.
Okay.
I know May 22nd, which is
22nd.
a Sunday.
Yes, it is a Sunday, which
It's our
is
first Sunday
it's-
of no.
No, technically
Crafted
this
Scent
Sunday.
Bar will be our first Sunday
Yes.
event.
And so we have from the 22nd from 10 to 2, and we are going to have over 40 vendors right now, and then over 7 food options as well,
Wow.
including,
I'm
love our
interested to see
food.
the layout.
and then we have a photographer coming.
Oh, that's a big event. That's going to be amazing.
That's
You know what's
actually
funny
a small
is
event.
That's a small event for us.
That's a
Oh,
small
that's the
event for
small
us.
size.
Do you know how many we had at Mother's
Sensational?
Day? We had 64.
But how many did we have around the holidays, Christmas?
101.
You wanted 101 vendors.
was that at Sensational?
at Sensational for Big Orange Day.
But you're doing the
yes.
holiday event at Fox Valley.
Valley.
Now the holiday event, we're gonna have 67 vendors,
Right.
and
That might
then
change because they keep adding experiences at Fox Valley.
yeah, which
takes
might
space.
take away our space.
Yeah.
But right now we have 67 spots available.
Okay.
Not
But it adds to the overall experience.
they're already being
when they
filled.
add
I'm
stuff
saying
to
that we
it.
have actual 67 spots. Is what I mean for vendors. But and then we have like 240 foot of real estate space for food vendors in front of the barn, and then we're gonna have a red truck, like an old antique red truck for a photographer to take pictures with.
Oh, yes.
That beautiful
And
truck. So Dan
If
made the
anybody knows a
connection.
Santa, we could really use a Santa.
Okay.
on the
Any
red
Santas
carpet.
out there?
Out for a
Okay.
Santa.
Now, the red truck was Dan's connection
Yep.
with Fox Valley and the photographer of our wedding, who's actually
Yeah.
been on the show. She was
Who I
selling the
met by
truck that
doing
used to be
side
her
IT
prop.
work.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
And Fox Valley was looking for one. Bam, there
That's
you go.
That's how,
awesome.
like I met
like
the
a-
photographer
it's like a
3
full
years
circle
before.
moment.
It
by
is,
doing
yeah.
side IT work for a
That's
church
cool.
that she needed some stuff done. That's how it just kind of
That's really
rolls.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, now we just
So-
need a Santa if you can
All right.
put that into the
We'll
circle.
start- we'll
All
start-
right, guys. We
Either
need a
find one or
Santa.
you are the Santa.
Yeah. Oh no!
Start growing out your beard now.
That's it. That's it right
You
there.
can't grow the
I
beard.
can't grow a beard.
A tatted Santa. And that
Yeah, do we want like a unique Santa? What
would
kind of
be
Santa
really
do we want?
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that location. You can have so many unique, different things.
Sure.
Because it's straight out of.
It's a hidden gem.
It really is.
So
Someone called it a Hallmark.
Yeah.
Somebody
Hallmark
used it as a different venue, but it's perfect for this one as well as a Hallmark
Moment.
Yeah.
kind of picture.
So I don't know
I
if you
called it
guys listened to the
Instagrammable.
Fox Valley interview. We interviewed them really early on in the show, but that's Dan's childhood home that he
Yes.
grew up in.
Yep.
That's
so
really
how
cool.
cool is
Awesome.
that?
And my last name
Families-
is Fox, and they bought it. Their last name is Fox, and we're not related. And
It's
how
like meant
crazy
to
is
be.
that?
Oh
No-
my
no
goodness, that is so
I
crazy.
did not. I actually
Yeah.
just thought you guys were
No,
because of
and now
Mindy
we're
and them.
friends. I mean, they've
Nope.
come over for dinner. It's like we're all family
How
almost
can you
now.
not
It's
be
re-
friends with them?
I know they're the
though?
best.
I mean,
They
But
are the
now your
best.
sister-in-law's with the Fox.
Okay, so
But you're not
Fox.
related to the
No,
Fox.
so
I'm best friends with Mindy, and I've known her family since I've been 14 years old.
yeah.
Okay. And then Dan is Mindy's husband's brother.
Yeah.
Jeremy, right?
Jeremy's my
Jeremy.
brother, yeah.
And
But
then
Jeremy's
me and-
not related to Mike and Jen.
No,
We're a separate
no.
family.
That is so
Isn't that cool?
But
Funny.
now me and Mindy are related.
Yeah.
That is so
because
crazy.
I married her brother-in-law.
But the Fox Valley house, it's funny because that house, my parents had one of those brass plaques put on the house that said House of Fox, established 1971 or whatever. And Mike and Jen have gone back and put another sign under that says reestablished and whatever the year is that.
That is so
But
cute.
they talk about how when they were looking for houses, how when they saw that plaque, they were like,
How is it
"Wait,
not a
Meant to
sign?
be.
it's meant
That's
to
a
be.
sign.
Yeah.
And
It's a sign.
they have transformed that property. It was like
It's
woods and
so
nursery when I
gorgeous.
grew up, and it's
It's
just
a dream property.
Oh, it's
It really
insane.
is.
Yeah,
My husband,
Yeah.
when he gets out there to help us set up on the truck, he's just gonna be like,
I want
Yeah.
to move here.
"What do I?
That's how I
make
felt. I
this
was
onto my
delivering
property?"
beers to Mindy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big
And I went back then. I was
things.
like, wow, and I went to Rock Springs Elementary right across the street.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I didn't even know this was back here.
Yeah.
Isn't it so cool?
Like-
Yeah. It's a little hidden neighborhood.
Yeah,
And
it's so
everybody
nice.
knows each other, and it's just like this little. We call it like there's like their commune
Yeah.
because like everybody knows everybody.
Well,
They
that's
do
the
Fox
positive
compound, yeah.
because the neighbor to them is actually letting us use his property for parking.
parking.
Because that was one of our when we drove up. I
Nikki
came up
was ready to
second.
leave.
I was like, Sheena.
But
yeah,
I'll tell
this
you,
ain't gonna
you can,
work.
But you can
because
fit some cars there
Yeah.
because Mindy and Jeremy and his parents used to do parties, and there have
not
been some cars
4,000
in
people
there.
Not 4,000.
drive the cars. That's what
so
we
Rob
look
is
at.
going to be
Yeah.
giving
Yep.
letting you guys park.
Yes,
That's
so
awesome.
that entire backfield of his behind his house and to the side is going to be used for our vendor parking, obviously at the very, very back.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have parking assistants helping people park
how-
back
it's
there.
gonna be an amazing
And
event.
so, we're renting it from him for the couple days that we're doing events there, and or the farm is, and
Yeah.
they have an agreement. And I was
love
like, that is an amazing neighbor because
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
never want anybody even to walk on that grass because of how beautiful it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we are finding these farms
Yeah.
have amazing neighbors.
Yep.
Because
Yes.
we went
Yes.
to another location
Yes.
and their neighbor is like, no, we want you to be successful. Use our
Yeah.
land.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
Love
because I
it.
pulled up there too, and I was like, Sheena,
So if you,
I love this
my
venue, but I
responsibility
can't
is
do
to find
4,000
venues.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm the logistics person. She's all like, "Ooh, look at this vision. Ooh, look at this."
The flowers.
Like, where's the
I
parking?
do.
later.
Which is
And
the
that's
point.
what I say a lot of. I'm like, well, we'll deal with that when we get to it. But
And then she texts me a couple days later. I don't think we're gonna be able to do this.
And then they bring it to me and they're like, okay, decide.
Yeah.
It's
So-
pretty much pick sides. I'm like, let's just do a little bit of both.
But that worked out really well. If that conversation plays out, we have something huge in the works.
I
that
am
will just make
so
Any breaking
excited.
news here? Or are we waiting?
We have
Okay.
to wait.
But it's
unfortunately.
We're building suspense.
There's
Okay.
two, just a snippet of a sneak peek is there are two major contracts in the works right now for
Love it.
two really amazing local farms that these events, one is going to be very, very themed and one is going to be insanely big.
Oh, it sounds very cool. Keep us
So,
posted for
like
sure.
bigger than we've ever done.
So if people want to keep posted on that, where are they going to find you at on social media? How are they going to follow you so that they can keep listening and keep
So many
tuned in?
places.
Oh,
Okay.
this might be a follow the links below.
Okay.
The main place they can go is www.whimsy
Dash?
market.com.
Yes, and we'll put
that's
that
going
link
to
there.
have all of our social media links, how to apply to be a vendor, photos of our last shows, upcoming shows. Everything will be there.
Very nice.
Perfect.
Well, I know we're wrapping up, and this isn't a question I would normally ask at the end, but how did you three meet?
Oh, yeah, we should have asked that.
Because you have like the perfect synergy and balance and the differенces between your personality.
It took a lot of trust to get here.
Small business.
they met
actually.
first.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Sheena used to run a small business group on Facebook.
Yep.
And I don't exactly know who invited me to the group.
I don't know.
And then we find out that we have a friend that I've known since kindergarten. That's also one of her best friends.
Oh, wow.
And we just clicked, and that was it.
And we had met years before, but didn't know.
Yeah.
You know.
One of those scenarios.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Both from Lake County?
Well, I grew up in Apopka. And
Okay,
then you
that's
grew up
right.
And I'm a Zellwood girl.
Okay.
So not too far.
Both
Not too
locals,
far.
yeah.
And then she introduced me to Nikki.
Well, we met because I did your daughter's smash cake.
Oh, yes. Yes, my daughter's first birthday smash cake, which
Okay.
even
Because
after
you
it
were
was smashed, I
connected
brought it
through
home.
the
She
small
even
business.
she ate it after it was smashed.
It was so
That's a good sign right there.
Yeah, it was so good. I was like, we're not putting it in the garbage can. It's coming home with us. They're like, there's only half of it left. I'm like, that's okay. It's enough to eat. We're taking it home.
Nice.
And then when the group started getting bigger, Sheena was like, the great person, like, would be
Yeah,
able
we
to
didn't
help
talk
us.
very much after. Like it was a business thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she was like, I really think Nikki would be a great fit, to like
Nikki
join our
had-
team.
Me and her had a very successful group during COVID.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh yeah,
So-
we have a connection too.
Right.
Oh,
So me and her had worked a very high stress, successful group. So when I saw, Whimsy Waffle just exploding and knew like, okay, if it doesn't get some sort of process together quickly, and not saying that Erica didn't have a process, but
It's
when
the time that it
It
takes.
grew
hit
quick to
the
where I couldn't
boundaries.
take it all.
tremendous.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, you hit the boundaries,
And
right?
I
yeah.
knew that Nikki brought something completely different. And I had worked with her, and she worked very well with my personality. And Erica is a lot more easy to manage than I am.
She's like, this is a win-win.
So, and I told Erica, I was like, I just have a feeling like she is just meant for this. And then over time, we all just sort of evolved into our own roles for Whimsy.
and bonded in a common goal to help
Yeah.
support
Yes.
small businesses.
Now we're more individualized in our roles, like she just said, because when you have too many hands in one pot.
Oh, sure.
Yes, we love helping each other. We love having that. But then it was becoming redundant and
And you're
repetitive and
redoing
messy.
something, or somebody's
Yeah.
doing it a little bit of a different way. So each
we lost
person.
too many
Consistency.
conversations over the same thing.
Yeah.
It just, hey, you make this decision. This is your thing. Even though,
We
when
respect
we're
it.
a little bit, like indecisive, we'll obviously go to each other.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
big
But-
decisions we make together.
Yes, yeah.
But like with the waffles, I do those lives twice a week. And then with the markets, if there's, if they're going out to map a venue or if they're going to have a meeting with the venue owner, they're able to do that, of course, because I'm working during the week.
Yeah.
And then if there's like a weekend meeting, we try to all get together. And we also try to get together to do, like when they're doing the vendors and they're like looking through the new vendors and stuff like that, we try to get together and just make the decisions,
Yeah.
as a whole.
And you guys are all making the decisions for the best of what you're trying to do, so
Right.
that you're
Yeah. To
make it
respecting that,
successful.
because
It's
you're-
been hard too to put aside personal relationships and friendships to remember what is Whimsy's goal and how do we get the 60 to 80 small businesses to that goal
Yeah.
successfully.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is the ultimate goal for this to be a full-time thing?
Yes.
Yes.
That's my goal.
Figured. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seems like you're on
I
your
really
way.
enjoy doing this. I'm an admin person to the core.
Right?
That's what I did for 10 years plus before I even started baking.
Right.
I was in the medical field. I did admin, work management, billing, all that stuff. So that's my type A personality
Right.
coming into play. And so that's why I feel so organized. And that's how I am. So
Yeah, I think
if we get there, it'd be great.
Yeah, I think you're going to be there. I definitely, yeah.
We appreciate that.
I do, for
From
sure.
all the vendors that I have talked to about you guys, nothing but good to say. That, I mean, they have a respect for what you guys are doing, definitely. and just, keep doing it. And we're going to get the word out.
It's great to hear it.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome to
Nothing
hear
but
it.
good things.
And thank you for taking the time to come meet with us today. This was really cool and fun.
Of course.
And
Thank you for having us. Yes,
Educational.
absolutely.
And
This
May
is new to everyone.
22nd, you guys come check out at Fox Valley Farm and Hop Yard, that Girls' Day event. It'll be
Yes.
So
awesome.
excited.
Yeah.
For the first 25 attendees that come to our booth, we'll get a swag bag.
Filled
That'll
with
be new for us.
vendor products.
From our awesome women-owned
great.
small
We
businesses.
can't go.
but
Yeah.
only 25.
We can.
Oh, we can go to that one?
It's our anniversary weekend, but we can come shop.
Why not spend it with
could-
Whimsy?
Yeah,
could swing
we'll
by.
come.
You could be there for an hour and
Yeah.
then go do your
Of
thing.
course.
Yeah,
There we
we'll
go.
come.
We have to swing by.
You know, I've actually done that
We
on my
will be
anniversary.
hungover.
Is
We will
had
be
my husband do
hungover
that.
in the
That's all
morning.
right. We'll
Just
still
to
welcome
tell
you with
guys.
open arms.
Hey, we have a mobile bar that day, so
that's
you don't
even
have to be
better.
hungover.
So
Your
we're
Bloody
gonna get like
You can just continue it.
We'll come get the Bloody Mary and we'll
And
wake
then do
back
some
up
shopping.
and then
That'll
we'll do
be
some
perfect.
shopping. But
Yes.
we're gonna get in
Yeah.
line. I want the swag bag, so we're gonna
Okay.
get in line there early.
You get the
Yes,
swag bag.
definitely come early.
I'll get the Bloody Marys. You get the swag bag.
That's what was
Teamwork.
Great.
See, look, perfect example of teamwork.
Well, guys,
Yeah.
this has been so much fun.
Yes, it
I'm so
has.
excited for you guys. But Dan has some information to share about a Patreon that we started.
Yes, and I didn't forget at all to do that. So we want to remind you that we do have a Patreon now. If you want to help support the show, you can do so by going to patreon.com/fineanddanjee. We have, I think, 3 levels, $1, $3, or $5.
Yes.
And all of the contributions go towards helping us, put together the show and
Yeah.
pay for the services that we use for the show. And we thank you for that.
Yes,
And
we
how do
'cause
other
it costs a
vendors-
lot.
Can they reach out to you guys to become on the show, or do you have to reach out to
Absolutely.
them?
Yeah, they
Either or.
definitely can reach out. We do have like a little processing thing like you guys do. We want to make sure they're the right fit for the show and everything like that. But yeah, if they want to email us at contact@fineanddanjee.com.
Yep.
That's the correct one.
That's
now,
the one.
right?
And that's always in the link. That's
We
always in the
changed
show
it,
notes
so I'm
as
like,
well.
wait a minute, which one is it? Contact@fineanddanjee, and that's Danjee, DANJEE, as everybody knows.
That's right.
Email
and
us.
don't forget,
At the end of each and every day,
It's all fine and
dandy.
That's really awesome, though. I like it.
But that's how we came up with it. Dan and I were actually on
Oh, I can get this out of my mouth. Okay.
we were on a local radio station for Dan's first book.
thank you.
I'm the weird.
You're in the car, it's like quiet. It is.